So, Katy Perry went to space to inspire women, right? Well, people are saying it might have been more about selling concert tickets for her latest tour. And after I show you everything in this video, you'll see exactly why people are saying that. Okay, so Katy Perry went to space and marketed it as divine feminism, then dramatically dropped to her knees and kissed the ground like she just survived a months-long mission to Mars. Thanks to that, the memes were chef's kiss, we've all had a good laugh, we've talked about it nonstop. And now, this. During a recent live performance of her song E.T., a track already dripping with alien metaphors, Katy Perry took to the stage in what can only be described as a sci-fi fever dream. Imagine this, she's surrounded by dancers in bizarre space-age costumes, and right there in her hands, a double-bladed lightsaber. And if you're sitting there wondering what on earth was even happening during this performance, don't worry, you're not alone. Audience members at the venue were just as baffled, watching Katy robot dance her way around the stage like it was a high school talent show. Okay, I want to clear up some confusion here. I am not even a Katy Perry hater. In fact, many people watching all of this unfold aren't even haters. They just can't help but laugh at how strange this whole situation is. Now, let's move on to what the internet has to say about this performance of Katy Perry. The roasting started almost immediately after the concert. One viral post captured the mood perfectly. When Katy Perry isn't too busy being an astronaut or solving world hunger, she's on stage sharing her talents with the entire world. Another person tweeted, "I've heard pregnant hippopotamuses sing better than Katy Perry," painting quite the vivid mental image. And the critiques didn't stop there. "This clip is not impressive," a Twitter user wrote. "It looks like someone who's come out of retirement after 30 years, trying to pull off the same moves they did when they were young and popular." Another roasted her space trip, quipping, "Guess those 11 minutes she spent in space could have been better spent on choreography practice." And yet another added, "She's not used to being back on the ground after all that space travel." And here's the thing that will make Katy cry in her spacesuit: fans who paid hundreds of dollars for tickets, some didn't even bother showing up. Several shows on her Lifetime's tour still had nearly 50% unsold seats, a brutal follow-up to the flop of her recent 143 album, which tanked harder than Snow White at the box office. Footage from the concert spread like wildfire across TikTok and X, and the reactions were ruthless. "This is the worst choreography I've ever seen in my life," one person wrote. Another compared it to a school talent show disaster, while someone else said, "This looks like an SNL skit, and it gets better or worse depending on how you look at it." This was meant to be a huge cinematic moment. You can tell. The lights were blindingly bright, the music thundered with anticipation, the production budget was clearly massive. And yet somehow, it all ended up feeling like a parody of a parody. And here's where it really starts feeling like a scam. People dropped hundreds of dollars, actual hard-earned money, to watch Katy Perry shuffle around on stage. You'd think, with tickets costing more than some people's rent, you'd get a mind-blowing show, right? Instead, the audience got a performance that looked like it was slapped together during a cafeteria lunch break. It was less multi-million-dollar tour and more last-minute group project where no one did the homework. And honestly, this wasn't disappointing. It was unintentionally hilarious. Imagine paying VIP prices to watch someone awkwardly roleplay Star Wars on stage while dressed like a sentient, bedazzled traffic cone. And just when the internet thought it couldn't squeeze more chaos out of this week, it did. As the memes rolled in and the mockery hit terminal velocity, reports began to surface that Katy Perry might actually be regretting the entire spectacle she built around her spaceflight. Now, to be clear, she's not regretting going to space. I mean, who wouldn't want to hop on a billionaire's rocket and yeet themselves into the stratosphere for 4 minutes? This week's all-female Blue Origin space mission has continued to garner attention, but not for the message of female empowerment it originally intended to send to the millions of humans back on Earth. Instead, the 11-minute expedition has received backlash for its jaw-dropping price tag, for its questionable environmental impact, and for the bizarre and dramatic antics of its 6-person crew after they touched down on Earth's soil. Despite their seemingly harmless intentions, the optics of the mission have since been described as tone-deaf and embarrassing. Following the backlash, it seems now the Roar singer is experiencing second thoughts about her flight on Blue Origin, the space exploration company founded by Amazon billionaire Daddy Jeff Bezos. An inside source has called the criticism unexpected for the former American Idol judge and disheartening for the rest of the all-female crew. Once Insider revealed to Daily Mail that Katy doesn't regret going to space. It was life-changing. What she does regret is making a public spectacle out of it. What she's supposedly kicking herself over is turning the whole thing into a headline-hungry media circus. The dramatic Earth kiss, the I Survived space drama, the press tour that made it all feel like a life-changing pilgrimage rather than what it really was, a luxury field trip for the rich. And apparently, neither she nor her team anticipated just how brutally the public would respond. The backlash slammed her. And honestly, pretty humiliating. It wasn't just critique. It was a full-blown roast session from every corner of the internet. And no PR spin could save it. Sources close to her are now saying she's been deeply affected, like actually shaken by how hard this flopped. Now, here's the part which makes the people on the internet furious. Katy Perry's trip aboard Blue Origin's New Shepard rocket was loudly marketed as a historic all-female flight, a supposed milestone for women in science, exploration, and empowerment. The messaging was clear. This wasn't just a celebrity joyride, it was a statement. But was it? During the opening night of her Lifetimes Tour 2025 in Mexico City, Katy basically confirmed what everyone was already suspecting. The spaceflight wasn't just about dreams, it was part of the act. On stage, she recreated scenes from her space journey, even flying through the air in mid-performance like the finale of a theme park ride. She posed for selfies with two guys in NASA jumpsuits, and then she asked the crowd, "Has anyone ever called your dreams crazy?" It was all very on-brand, very rehearsed, and for a lot of people, very telling. Suddenly, the whole thing clicked into place. The space mission wasn't just a personal milestone, it was a high-budget, high-altitude PR stunt for her new tour. And that bold female empowerment angle, yeah, it started to feel more like a shiny marketing layer than genuine activism. Because when you peel back the hashtags and brand slogans, what do you really have? A pop star, a billionaire-funded suborbital flight, and a concert tour trying to sell inspiration in between awkward robot dances and laser lights. And people noticed. There's a bigger, uglier picture here, and it made everything Katy Perry did look even worse. Because once people realized the female empowerment space mission was really just a PR setup for her Lifetime's tour, it wasn't hard to start asking the next obvious question. At what cost? Literally. Taking a billionaire-funded 11-minute rocket ride for a photo op isn't just tone-deaf, it's borderline dystopian when you zoom out. While Katy floated around the stratosphere posing for hashtags and sound bites about breaking barriers, the reality on the ground was a lot less glamorous. The carbon footprint of that launch alone, massive. The price tag for the mission, absurd. And the symbolism, well, pretty hollow once you realize it wasn't about inspiring a new generation of scientists or explorers. It was about selling concert tickets. It was hard to watch Perry talk about dreams and empowerment when the whole thing felt like a corporate-sponsored vacation dressed up in activism cosplay. Media outlets didn't pull their punches either. They called the mission what it was, a waste, a distraction, a marketing fail. Instead of being aspirational, it felt like a grim reminder of just how out of touch celebrity culture has gotten, where flexing your wealth and access is disguised as a feminist milestone. There was a time when Katy Perry owned the pop world. Remember the teenage dream era? Every song she dropped was a massive hit. The choreography? On point. The visuals? Iconic. Katy was untouchable. She was headlining Super Bowls, breaking Billboard records, dominating everything. She felt larger than life, but still somehow relatable. And now, fast forward to 2025, and we've got Katy Perry awkwardly shuffling around on stage with a bootleg lightsaber, robot dancing in a cone bra, trying to sell a space empowerment story like it's a clearance sale. The bigger problem with this whole thing isn't even Katy herself. It's what it represents. It's a perfect snapshot of how insanely out of touch celebrity culture has gotten. When billionaires and pop stars are treating a casual rocket launch like a personal hero's journey, while everyone else is down here struggling with rent, groceries, and just life in general, yeah, people are gonna call it out. It doesn't feel inspiring. It feels like watching someone buy a golden toilet and then give a TED talk about following your dreams. At least when Bezos came back from space wearing a cowboy hat, we knew it was cringe. Katy tried to package hers as some deep feminist movement, and somehow made it even worse. What do you guys think? Was this genuinely meant to inspire, or was it always just a marketing plan from the start? And would you still pay hundreds of dollars for a concert ticket after seeing this? Honestly, if Katy responds to any of this backlash, it's either going to be a "you guys don't understand my art" post or a Notes app apology. And honestly, I can't wait. Anyway, let me know what you think. Drop a comment, hit the like if you had a good time, and subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this. Thanks for watching. And remember, save your money for literally anything else.